Now we're ready to start working on the back-end image support. And let's start with what we've done before. So if you look at test upload file, that calls upload test PHP. And here's most of what we need to actually store image data in the database. And I'm going to try to separate this code into data layer on the share database class. And then I'm going to create a new class for handling images. And the business logic is going to go there. So initially, we're going to start just by storing the uploaded image in the database. And then the next step is we're going to take the image and we're going to compute a page size version of the image. So either scaled up or scaled down to fit a box 800 wide. And then we're also going to store a thumbnail version of the image, which is 128 by 128 pixels. So we're going to use the thumbnail in a gallery view where you can browse image thumbnails. And then if you click on an image in the gallery, that will take you to a page for the image with a page size view of the image. And I'll have some other stuff, eventually discussion. And then finally, if you click on the image in the page view, that will take you to the full-sized image. Now, the reason to pre-compute these scaled versions is the scaled versions are going to be much lower bandwidth. They're going to be a lot smaller. And so we're going to keep the network traffic down by only serving the size we need. And instead of using a lot of CPU to recalculate the scaled version each time somebody fetches it, we're going to pre-compute it and store it in the database. So it's mainly an efficiency thing, both to conserve network bandwidth and also to conserve CPU on the server. So let's start with the database. And I'm going to copy this part of it here and the statement stuff and so on. I'm only going to be uploading one image at a time, so I'll change this some. But I'm going to copy that anyhow. And then in shared database, I'm going to create an insert image method. And it's going to take some stuff. I'm going to come back to that after I've filled in some of the code. So the query is insert into image. We need a name, a MIME type, a size, and the data. So let's go ahead and include name. Actually, name should refer to the image set. So I'm going to have an image set table that links to the full resolution original version of the image, the page-sized image, and the thumbnail. And it's also going to need the image ID for all three of those things. So I'm going to get rid of name for now. And I'm also going to have to change that in the database because I won't need that anymore. So I need MIME type, size, data, 3 parameters. And I'm going to pass those in. Type, size, data. So I make the database connection, I create a prepared statement, I bind a string, an integer, and a binary value, because I'm not using name anymore. And then I'm only going to insert one image. And I'm going to untab that. So I already have name, I have type. Instead of temp name, I'm going to just pass the data in. So I don't need this, and I don't need that. And I don't need that because I'm passing that in as well. So this is now parameter 0, 1, 2. Data is parameter 2. execute, and then I need to do one other thing here. I don't need to close that anymore because that's handled by the class when the object gets destroyed. But what I need to do is I need to return the ID of the image that I just inserted. And that's actually pretty easy with MySQL. I'm just going to go ahead and say db pointer insert ID. And that's going to return the ID, and then I'm going to return that from the function. So that gives the thing that calls this the value of the ID. So there's my database support. I already have a upload file. This is going to end up doing more work, but for now I'm just going to use insert image to insert one image. So we'll go ahead and leave that the same. I want to make a new image. And I'm going to pass in the file object for that image. And this file key, that's the value I specified over here in the AJAX code. Right here. And since I'm referring to this constant in two different places, I'm going to go ahead and make a constant for it. I'm going to put that on the class, the image class. So this is going to be image : file key. And that needs to be in single quotes. Now I can't do that because I'm in a here doc, so what I want to do instead is set file key equal to image : file key. And then here, inside the here doc, I'm going to use curly bracket, $ file key, curly bracket. So then, in upload file, I'm going to need to require the images class. And that's going to be in // includes image.php. And that will give me access to image : file key. So let's go ahead and create that file. And it's a class image. I misspelled class. And then I have const file key equal file. So in upload file, I create the new image. And then what I want to do here is set object pointer ID to image pointer get ID. So get ID is going to be an accessor on the image class that returns the ID of the image. So we're going to need a private member variable. And we'll include a get method public function getID. And this is just going to return this pointer MID. Okay, so now all we need to do is in the constructor, we need to go ahead and create the right image in the database. So this is going to be a file array. And here, I'm just going to say MID equal 1. And I'm going to put a breakpoint on here and make sure that everything's hooked up correctly so far. So I'm getting a complaint about port 20,080. Still complaining about port. Well, let's try loading anyhow. I'm going to drag and drop an image, say OK. I got my breakpoint, so seems to be OK. So if we look at the $file variable, we have an array with name, type, temp name, and size. And we need to call share database insert image with type, size, and data. So let's go ahead and copy that. And we'll continue. So DB is new share database. And then we'll call DB pointer insert image, pass in size, type, size, and data. And then we're going to also set m under ID equal to the return value from that. So now we just have to get the value of these variables. Type is file sub. File type. And name is, we're not using name here. Size is file sub image : file size. And then data is get, it's actually file get contents. And then the file name is image : file temp name. $file sub image : file temp name. Okay, and then let's define those constants. And I think that's it. So I'm going to put a breakpoint here just to make sure everything looks good. And then I'm going to hit reload. Actually, yeah, I'll hit reload. I don't actually need to reload because that's using AJAX. So I'll just drag and drop, hit OK. I'm at my breakpoint. Never got here, so let me try that again. So I'm going to reload, drag an image, Oop, that wasn't it. And I must have an error somewhere because my drop handler isn't working. So dropper is not defined. Oh. So yeah, my file get contents was probably not working here. So I'm going to go to network, probably because I haven't loaded the shared database file somewhere that I need it, but we'll go ahead and work through it anyhow. So dropper content, we have an error trying to load that. Fatal error, uncaught error, class image not found, and dropper content. So dropper content, require once image.php. Try that again. That looked better, so let's go ahead and try dragging and dropping. Turn on debugging. Okay. I'm at my breakpoint. Nope, I'm not at my breakpoint. Did I unset my breakpoint? So let's take a look at the network tab again. And I'm going to drag and upload again. Right, so I'm getting an error in upload. Shared database not found in image. So let's go ahead and add that. And that's in the same directory. So now let's try OK again. Okay, now we're at our breakpoint. So we got here. So type is image JPEG, size is 2.6 meg. Data is that, looks like a JPEG to me. And should be all we need. So I'm going to step in here. So there's my query. I get the database. I prepare the statement. Bind the parameters. Send long data. Execute. Okay, so it took a little while, but came back. And then I'm going to return insert ID. So now MID should be the next row that was inserted, which is 7. So that all looks good. And then step out, set the object ID, continue. So there was the first image. Here's the second image, which is ID 8, continue. So the two images I uploaded, first one, status OK, ID 0, status OK, ID 0. So not quite, but close. So my, should be this pointer ID. There we go. So now let's try it again. We drag some more files here. Hit OK. We got an upload. And now the status is OK and ID is 9. So that seems to be working correctly. And then we have the test. So share image 9. And that's the file that I just uploaded. And then 8 was this one. Perfect. Now, I do have a couple of cleanup things I need to do. So I'm going to go back here, turn off the debugger. And first thing I did was, this is bad because it violates the PHP-FIG standards. You shouldn't have a side-effecting piece of code require in the same file as a define, a class definition. So I want to cut that out and make sure that anything that's using the image class also loads shared database. So that's going to be this upload file. This is what has to require one shared database. And from here, it's /include/shared database. So that way image doesn't require shared database anymore. And then also in shared database, my connection is actually being handled in the constructor or by this connect method. So I want to use that connect method instead. So just like I am in other places, like here, shared database : connect. That's what I want to do down here. And then I was using connection in other places, so I'm going to refactor, rename this, just to be consistent with the other occurrences. And then let's see if I broke anything. So I'm going to go back here, reload. Let's go kitties. Some kitties. There's a good one. Okay, so I'm going to upload this. Uploaded one file. Let's do this in the network tab. Let's upload this one. So that's ID 11. And it looks like everything is still working.